Today, I want to talk about whether the AMC board of directors, including Adam Aron, are finally buying AMC shares. The answer, believe it or not, is actually yes, but I do need to explain exactly what's just happened. I also want to talk about how the majority of hedge funds last year for 2023 actually underperformed the S&P 500. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, here you can see a new form filing through the SEC for AMC. This one specifically is for Adam Aron, but each of the directors or the board members at AMC have a very similar form filing. What we can see here is that Adam Aron actually added and purchased 126,000 new shares of AMC stock. Now, on top of that, he did actually sell some shares as well on top of that purchase, and you can also see his grants for new restricted stock units. So let me explain exactly what's going on here, and Retail Stocks has also given an explanation of what this form actually means and how you should read the form. So every year, as part of the board members and directors' compensation, they're not just paid a cash salary, they're also paid in shares. Actually, they're paid majority in shares and very little cash. Now, to actually obtain those shares as part of their salary, they actually have to go in and buy those shares and then they can sell them later. So what you can see here is that Adam Aron was just granted 63,000, 17,000 and 45,000 new restricted stock units for a total of 126,000 new shares. Now, Adam has actually bought these 126,000 new shares as part of his remuneration, but where does Adam Aron get the cash? Well, Adam Aron actually had to sell some shares to be able to afford to purchase those new shares from his restricted stock units. So what Adam Aron's done is sold 57,826 shares in order to buy 126,000 new shares. That's actually increased Adam Aron's holding of AMC shares from 366,000 now to around 434,000. AK, Adam Aron now holds 70,000 more AMC shares than he did a few weeks ago. Because with restricted stock units, they're issued at a price below the current market value, but these directors still have to buy these restricted shares. So therefore, they still have to pay and purchase those restricted shares, still increasing their share counts. And you'll see from AMC's website, it's not just one singular Form 4 for Adam Aron. Actually, every single director at the AMC board of directors has just done the same thing. Now, as Retail Stocks has tweeted, he said, "Since you can't hear my voice, just hear calm and not annoyance." He said, "We do this every year. The execs get like 2/3 of their salary via shares. Most of those shares are kept, while some are sold not just to buy their shares given to them, but also to cover taxes." He said it's literally just a paycheck, and if they didn't sell a portion, they'd be paying taxes from their own pockets. Now, Ape Research has also tweeted saying, in case you've seen claims that Adam Aron sold shares today, he did not sell shares for the sake of selling shares. He said he and several others exercised some options. He acquired shares, but those shares had to be paid for, so he sold the shares necessary to pay and buy the new shares. So as I said, actually, if anything, this is a good thing because Adam Aron now holds even more AMC shares, up from 366,000 to 434,000. The team absolutely smashed it today in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group on LAES or Seals SQ Corporation. This is one of my typical breakout plays that we discussed during the morning that ran for a total of 51% today. We can then jump into the trade and ride the stock price higher, selling wherever during the day. After 10%, 20%, or on days like these, 50% gains. Now I'm going to absolutely cover the screen in screenshots, but as I said, the team absolutely nailed it. Van made a 16% profit on Lays. Zep took 5 separate trades on Lays today, being profitable on each one of them. Zach was also profitable on Lays, making another 15% as well. On top of that, B had 2 profitable options trades, which I called both of them on the S&P 500 and on Microsoft, making around $350. Kevin also took the same Microsoft trade, making $163. Icon made $100 in 2 minutes, up 50 or 60%. And S to the P on the S&P 500 made over $4,000 today. So guys, if you want to be making daily profits, making multiple profits every single day, be sure to join the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group linked in the description below. As you guys know by now, most people in the team make enough money from their very first trade not just to cover the monthly membership, but to cover the entire lifetime membership. Now what's interesting as well is, as user of Intellect tweeted, 99% of hedge funds last year for 2023 underperformed the S&P 500. He said, when I say retail investors have an advantage and we're well positioned to reclaim our money, he said, I really mean it. You can see this is the returns for some of the top hedge funds last year in 2023, a year when the S&P 500 returned over 20%. So actually Discovery Capital and Barnegat are the only two hedge funds that beat the S&P 500's returns. Every single other hedge fund out there failed to beat the S&P 500. All they had to do was buy shares in an S&P 500 ETF and leave it alone for a full year and not do anything, and they would have been one of the top earning hedge funds. But actually many of the other hedge funds out there, such as Citadel's hedge funds, actually took on losses from other areas of the market and therefore underperformed the S&P 500. And some of those hedge funds out there, like DE Shaw, severely underperformed the S&P 500. As I said, this is just the top 20 funds, so many of the funds out there are going to have negative returns. So it seems that actually many hedge funds out there were indeed taking significant losses, maybe on their long positions or maybe on their short positions. And that's likely why DougSEC desperately needs Gary Gensler replaced with Hester Peirce. As Cornelius the Ape tweeted, DougSEC just called Hester Peirce brilliant and talented by tweeting saying elections have consequences. Imagine if this brilliant, talented public servant was chair of the SEC. One can only hope and pray. He said it will take years to undo the harm that Gensler has brought to the Commission and to markets. Thank you for stating it so eloquently, Commissioner Peirce. Now obviously Hester Peirce is someone that voted no on more short selling disclosures and is absolutely someone we do not want as chair of the SEC. With Hester Peirce as chair of the SEC, DougSEC would be able to do whatever he wanted and be able to set the price of any stock at whatever he chose. He'd do the exact same thing as Ken Griffin and not allow supply and demand to dictate the prices of stocks. Instead, he'd let short selling and himself dictate whatever price any stock should be. Now, if that sounds absolutely horrible, we need to ensure that Hester Peirce is not chair of the SEC going forward. Now, something interesting posted by Unusual Wells with a number of factual sources. He said that ChatGPT will lie, cheat, and use insider trading when under pressure to make money. Research shows, as per the source, from Live Science. Now, I wonder why ChatGPT, an AI automated program, would lie, cheat, and use insider trading to make money. Likely because ChatGPT's research shows that if it lies, cheats, and uses insider trading in a stock market, then nothing bad is going to happen. They might receive a small speeding ticket speed bump fine, a fraction of the cost of the profits they actually made. And that's likely why they're happy to effectively lie, cheat, and steal, because they know, or being ChatGPT knows, that it won't get in trouble. And that really, to me, shows just how broken the US stock market really is. If an AI computer-generated program can decide that actually lying, cheating, and stealing in the stock market is good because it won't be punished, surely something is wrong. And finally, Darren or Delu Trades has tweeted this very interesting overlapping picture of the AMC chart and the Ethereum Classic chart. You can see the prices of Ethereum Classic and AMC were practically mirroring each other through 2020, 2021, 2022, and the majority of 2023. Until AMC's chart flipped not just from a similar algorithm, but to pure manipulation. Obviously, there were many charts out there, or there are many charts out there that look exactly the same as AMC through 2021, 2022, and 2023. Many people have pointed out on Twitter and on YouTube over the years in terms of this algorithm that looks exactly the same on the daily, weekly, and monthly timeframes. This was up until a few months ago when AMC's chart saw pure manipulation and was pushed down obviously from this $40 region now to below $5 per share. I actually pointed out a while ago on Twitter and on YouTube this has also been combined with a massive increase in volume. At a time when the float of AMC is roughly a third the size of what it used to be, we're now seeing all-time highs in terms of volume. Instead of trading just a few million shares per day on AMC, AMC is now regularly trading 20, 30, 40, 50 million shares per day. The last time AMC saw this kind of volume was back in June of 2021 just for a few days, and January of 2021 just for a few days as well. But AMC has been consistently trading this record high volume literally for the last few months every single day. That right there is pure manipulation, and it's why AMC is differing from the Ethereum Classic chart. But why did AMC need to be manipulated in such a way? Well, if you look at the Ethereum Classic chart, Ethereum Classic is now finally starting to rally. Maybe the algorithm for Ethereum Classic is now starting to repeat itself, and maybe Ethereum Classic will be hitting new all-time highs over the next few weeks and next few months. And obviously, if that was the case for AMC, or if AMC does hit new all-time highs over the next few days, weeks and months, many hedge funds out there would end up going bankrupt. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.